Hello everyone, I am Anuj Nakade and you're watching LiveLaw. In this video, we bring you news from the Parliament. On the 2nd of August 2023, the Parliament in quick succession has passed 5 bills. The Mines and Minerals Development and Regulation Amendment Bill, the Jan Vishwas Amendment of Provisions Bill, the Multi-State Cooperative Societies Amendment Bill, the Biological Diversity Amendment Bill and the Forest Conservation Amendment Bill of 2023. In this video, we will talk about only the last one because it was passed even after significant resistance by the opposition and it relates to the most important issue facing humanity, climate change and the environment. India is home to 7 to 8% of the world's biodiversity and accounts for 4 of 34 biodiversity hotspots, which makes the forest land and the plants and animals that exist in them that much more important. The bill was approved by Lok Sabha last week with a voice vote and passed by the Rajya Sabha on 2nd of August. The aim of the bill is to extend and exempt specific types of land from the applicability of the bill. In the statement of object and reasons, it states that it is necessary to broaden the horizon of the Act in order to achieve the objective of the country to increase the forest cover for creation of carbon sink of additional 2.5 to 3 billion tons of CO equivalent by 2030. The statement of objective reasons also states that before the T.N. Godavarman judgment by the Supreme Court, the Forest Conservation Act was applicable to notified forest lands and not to revenue forest areas, and non-forestry use in the revenue forest areas was allowed through the permissions granted by the government and various authorities. Our regular viewers might be familiar with the T.N. Godavarman judgment, the PIL, with one of the longest running continuing mandamus in the history of the country. If you'd like to know more details about the T.N. Godavarman judgment, you can watch our previous video in a development on the case through a link in the description. After the judgment in 1996, the Act was applied to forest areas, including the ones already used for non-forestry purposes, and it caused confusion about the applicability of the Act to plantations on private and government non-forest lands, which is why there is a necessity to clarify the applicability of the Act to the different types of land. The bill amends the short title of the Act to be called the Van Sanrakshan Evam Samvardhan Adhiniyam 1980 and extends the applicability of the Act to the land notified as a forest under Indian Forest Act 1927 or in government records after the 1980 Act came into effect. The Act, however, also exempts the applicability of the Act to forest land situated alongside a rail line or a public road maintained by the government which provides access to a habitation, rail or roadside amenity up to a maximum size of 0.1 hectares, forest land within 100 kilometers along international borders, line of control or line of actual control, which is proposed to be used for construction of strategic linear project of national importance and concerning national security, land up to 10 hectares which has been proposed to be used for construction of security-related infrastructure. The amendment also exempts land proposed to use for construction of defense-related projects, camps for military forces or public utility projects by the central government, as long as the extent of the said project does not exceed 5 hectares in a central government notified left-wing extremism affected area. Finally, the tree plantation or reforestation raised on lands that are not declared or notified as a forest under the Indian Forest Act of 1927 or has been recorded in government records as a forest as on or after 25th of October 1980. However, the bill and the changes it introduces are not without its concerns. Under the Act, before the amendments, there was a requirement for the mandatory central government approval for diversion of forests in certain cases. The amendment has now removed this mandatory central government approval, which means that decisions about these diversions of forest land would be taken by the state governments and union territory administrations only, without the supervision of the central government. The amendment also exempts zoos from prior approval. However, in an order issued by the Supreme Court in February just this year, the Supreme Court disapproved of building zoos inside tiger reserves, national parks, or protected forests. The court's order reads, and I quote, "Prima facie, we do not appreciate the necessity of having a zoo inside tiger reserves or national parks. The concept of protecting tiger reserves and national parks is that the fauna must be permitted to reside in the natural habitat and not the artificial environments. There are also concerns raised that the exemption of land from the purviews of the Act near border areas for national security projects may adversely impact the forest cover and wildlife in the border area regions, like the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir and the northeastern states. The bill was introduced in Lok Sabha in March of 2023, and thereafter it was referred to a 31-member joint parliamentary committee that has recently submitted its report. The committee did not propose any changes to the bill. However, 6 MPs from the opposition have filed a dissent note. The objections were raised by them on exemption of forest land at border areas from the purview of the Act that might turn detrimental to the biodiversity and forest coverage of border areas, especially in the Himalayan region. Concerns were also raised that it may lead to exploitation of forest land by using them for non-forest purposes. Another concern raised by the opposition parties is that it will enable private developers to cut down forests without getting the consent of forest dwellers, which will consequently violate the provisions of the Forest Rights Act. On changing the short title of the Act as Van Sanrakshan Evam Samvardhan Adhiniyam 1980, objections were raised that it ignores the non-Hindi speaking population of the country. What do you think of the new Forest Conservation Bill? Do you think these exemptions address our current environmental concerns adequately? Do you think we at LiveLaw should make more videos about new bills and laws from the Parliament? Please let us know in the comments below. If you found the video informative, please leave a like and consider supporting our work by joining our channel as a member for only ₹89 per month. If you'd like to find out more about the bill or the T.N. Godavarman case, please watch our previous video from the description below or visit our website at www.livelaw.in. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon for notifications. Thank you.